Every single inquiry that doesn't actually get completed on your website, or every consultation call that goes nowhere, it's often because of unclear offers and a confusing customer journey on your website. After 11 plus years of designing websites, I've come to terms with pretty design isn't enough. The magic really happens when we map the exact path you want your clients to take when they're on your website. Today, we're going to talk about the difference between a website that just looks good and one that actually converts visitors into clients. Because if you're not clear about your offers and the journey that you want a potential client to take on your website, you're leaving money on the table. When clients come to me for a website redesign, they often think they just need better colors or fonts or a prettier experience. But the true transformation happens when we get crystal clear on their offers and create strategic pathways for every single visitor, whether they land on the homepage, a blog post, or a services page. Ready to learn why clarity isn't just about better communication, it's about better conversions? Let's get into it.
Welcome to Website Design Made Simple, the podcast for busy small business owners who want a high-performing website that converts and sells their offers, even while they're sleeping. Because you deserve to have a strategic and beautiful website that truly represents your brand and positions you as the expert that you are. I'm your host, Jenny B., web designer and creative director at Jenny B Designs, where we believe that your website is the one thing that makes you sales and builds your brand at the same time. Ready to say goodbye to a website that you're embarrassed to share? And hello to a money-making, personality-packed powerhouse? Let's head into today's episode.
Hello, welcome to today's podcast. I'm so happy to have you here. My name is Jenny. I own Jenny B Designs, like the intro said, and I really have a passion for helping small business owners like you design a beautiful, but also, and more importantly, even strategic website that attracts your ideal clients and it makes you money. Because at the end of the day, if your website isn't making you money, it's not doing its job. And because strategy is such a huge piece of what I do, I decided to outline this episode to share with you the importance of understanding your client's journey, your customer journey through your website, as well as being really clear on your offers. Because those two pieces of the puzzle, in turn, create momentum and increase your conversions when it comes to your website. Let's start at the beginning, the foundation of every single website. And this is where I always start whenever I give a workshop or host a webinar. We talk about what is the goal of the website, not just any goal, but the goal of the website. And it needs to be a clear strategic goal that drives every single decision that we make during the website design process. And a lot of times, business owners might think that their website goal is to look professional or to share information about who they are, about their offers, or to create trustworthiness or that credibility. But that's really not enough. Your website needs to actively work for your business. There needs to be an active goal for that website. When I work with clients, typically the first question I ask is, what do you want your website to do for you? Tell me about your sales process. What is the first step of that sales process? I don't ask, what do you want your website to look like? Because that is secondary. That comes from the design and the brand put together. But the first question that we want to ask and address is, what is the goal? What is the strategy behind the website? Some common goals I get a lot of service providers. It is to book a consultation call with them, the sales call, to get people on a call to share with them your current offers and to explain how you can help make their life better and solve a problem that they have. Another action could be to generate leads, perhaps signing up for a freebie or a download to build that email marketing list. You could also sell products. If that is something that you do as well, that would be a goal for your website. But when you start with understanding what that overall website goal is, then the rest of your website can come into clear focus. Every single page on your website now has a purpose. The design decisions that we make become strategic, and the content that we place on the pages drives that action. So success really becomes measurable. Once you have this clarity on what your goal is for the website, everything falls into place. Your offers, your client journey, and your conversion points. Let's talk a little bit about mapping that client journey. There needs to be a strategic pathway that guide each visitor on your website towards that goal, that singular goal, no matter where they enter your website. And I want to preface this by saying that Most of the time, I recommend that you have a singular goal. However, some websites do have dual goals. A lot of times I see this on nonprofit websites when they have goals for volunteers, and signing up to volunteer might be one, and signing up to be a client might be another, and giving money to be a donor might be another. Or some service businesses, either you can have a consultation call, or perhaps you can buy one of the done for you service packages that they have available. There may be more than two, but there is always one top of mind goal that you are trying to funnel people to.
Quick question. Are you frustrated with your website? Not sure why it isn't converting? I would love to help. That's why I offer my website coaching calls. In just 50 minutes, we'll uncover what's holding your site back and create a plan to fix it. Whether you need help with design, content, or strategy, I'll give you the clear steps to move forward. Click the link in the show notes to book your coaching call today, and let's make your website your best marketing tool. Now back to the episode.
Now, what most business owners get wrong is they assume everyone starts their website journey on your homepage. But in reality, visitors might be landing on a blog post that you wrote through search. Perhaps they're landing on your services page that another person shared with them. Maybe they found you on the About page because they Googled your name and that's where it's sent. But every single page and every single entry point on your website needs its own strategic journey. When you work with me to design your website, we map out every path possible. This is just something that I do when it comes to every single page on your website. When someone enters from a blog post, you want to capture their interest with really valuable content. That's why it's important to have concise and complete website blog posts. As well, throughout the post, you want to guide them to the related services. For example, if I write a blog post on the best hosting platform for WordPress, during the post, as I'm writing it, I would most likely be sharing some information about my website design services on the WordPress platform and linking them to my services page. I want to guide them to the related services. We could also offer content upgrades. What this might mean is that you might have a freebie that pertains to that blog post. Perhaps put a link to that freebie there so that they can join, get on your email list, and get some more content from you. And of course, if your main goal is to book consultations, make sure you have a link to book a consultation on the blog post page. I like to see a sidebar on a blog post page because someone will enter your blog post, most likely from a Google search. When they get there, they're going to be reading the blog post. But you also want them to learn some information about you and perhaps to find some of your most popular blog posts or links to some resources that might help them. The sidebar is a wonderful place to showcase this. And in turn, it allows people to continue their journey on your website, not just read the blog post and bounce. On your services page, on that page, we want to demonstrate your expertise. We want to showcase that transformation that you give your clients. And of course, always building trust with social proof. Social proof is a large piece of the puzzle, either with testimonials, really rich testimonials, or with videos. And on this page, on the services page, that's really where the rubber meets the road, you could say, because this is where people are going to decide if they want to take the next step with you. And in order to do that, they need to have the next step, a call to action. Where do you want people to go after they learn about your services? Is it just a buy button? Are you driving them to the contact page to take that next step with you? Making sure there is a place for them to take the next step. On the About page, this is where we're really creating the emotional connection. You're establishing your credibility. You're sharing your unique methodology. Sometimes I love to see personal information. If it's a personal brand, just builds again that emotional connection. And then, of course, after you're sharing about how you can help transform people's lives, you link them to the next page in their journey, which is your services page. This is why I help you, and this is how I can help you. Creating that journey. Every single pathway needs to have a strategic call to action, a button leading people to the next step, as well as trust building elements, imagery, words that build that trust, perhaps some credibility badges, and of course, just the natural progression steps. You know, when you're writing copy, that at the end of each section or every other section, there needs to be a button to take the person to the next step to continue that journey. I worked with a client to do an audit a few months ago, and a lot of people were reading her about page, which is no shock because, as I've shared before, your about page is your most highly visited page on your website, typically. Sometimes people don't even have those, but they are very important. Anyways, a lot of people were going to her about page, but on her about page, there were no calls to action. The first thing that we did was add a button that links people to her services page so that they can learn more about her services after they learn more about her. That is a change that increased the time that people actually spent on her website by 15%, just making that one simple change. It all comes back to the journey. Do you have enough calls to action? Are you taking people to the next step? The second thing that is really important, and just like the title talks about, is being crystal clear on your offers because a vague offer leads to a vague result. A lot of service providers tend to make offer mistakes like trying to be everything to everyone. And I'm not saying you have to niche down because that is actually something that I don't do. I don't have a specific niche that I work with. I find that my work, my modern website design, is more of the niche versus who I try to work with. But the copy on my website does speak to a specific person who truly values an exclusive service and a beautiful design that is also strategic in a very succinct, organized process. That is who I'm speaking to. I'm not trying to be everything to everyone. I'm not a digital agency offering every single service from under the sun. I have one specialty, my money making website design. That is what I'm speaking to. A lot of times, service providers fall into the trap that they are trying to be everything to everyone. And you need to be specific with your offerings. As well, a lot of times we like to add everything under the sun onto our service pages, endless customizations, many different packages. And when you have too much, and this applies everywhere on your website, especially your navigation, you have too many options, people get confused and then they leave. It's important to be specific and concise. As well, some mistakes I see are service providers not sharing prices. And this is going back to the vagueness. You need to be specific, sharing the investment, be it the entire price or a starting out price or a ballpark, whatever you want. Transparency is key, and not sharing the investment is a vague way to list your offers. As well, focusing on the features instead of transformation. And I go into a lot of this on episode 56, 7 website mistakes that are attracting budget clients, because this also addresses that problem. But being too flexible with your scope, having too many things, and focusing on the features instead of the transformation, that's not being clear with your offers. When you do that, you're attracting the price shoppers. You are attracting people that are probably prone to scope creep. And when you get clear in your offers, everything clicks into place. You are attracting those ideal clients. You're setting clear boundaries. You have confident pricing and you have defined deliverables with a specific transformation process. I think I talked about this in that episode 56 when I worked with a service provider and she had so many different options. And we sat down, I think it was like maybe 9 or 10 different options. She was a coach and we went through them and we picked the top three because most people were signing up for her top three offers. And the rest, it was just a person here or there. And we talked about first you really love doing, what lights you up, and focusing on those. And when we did that, we found that people were staying on her website longer, were continuing on their journey. She had more views on her pages. And of course, it translates to more inquiries because it is clear what she offers. People understand and they can make the decision if they want to work with her or not. Your offer needs to solve specific problems, needs to speak to specific clients, deliver specific results. I'm using the word specific a lot because that's what makes the difference. And when I work with clients, we talk about your offers. We make sure that we structure it that will guide those qualified leads and will, repel, filter out those poor fits because that's just as important. You don't want to attract people who don't align with your services. You want to align and work with ideal clients. And when we do that, The clarity becomes your website's foundation. There's stronger messages, clearer pathways, better conversions, and higher quality leads of the people who are actually converting. And of course, increased confidence. And this comes with so much of what I do. And I don't think it's talked about enough. But when you know you're sending someone to your website and it's doing the hard work for you, and it's going to take that potential client and drive them to the right place, it increases your confidence. You want to talk about what you serve. You want to share your website, send people there. And it just all comes together and goes together like that. I know I gave a couple of examples of clients that I work with, but I'm just doing like a compilation of things that I've seen with many different clients that happened before having clarity and after implementing these clear offers and pathways. Before, they may have had, a few consultation calls a month, but now they're getting so many more consultation calls. And in fact, their conversion rate is higher because not only are they getting more, but they're booking more projects. And in fact, they don't have to negotiate their prices on these calls because it's all outlined on the website. There's higher project values, clear expectations with their clients because they don't have scope creep issues. And the sales process isn't exhausting because it's all laid out on your services page. It's more like people are booking a call with my clients to have that vibe check versus booking a call to find out what they can offer you. And a website that works like this, that is strategic, and when you get clear on your customer journey and your offers, you're spending less time on unqualified leads. You can make decisions faster. You have qualified leads that are self-selecting if they want to work with you or not. And these premium clients that are coming to you, they recognize your value. Your website in turn, it becomes that pre-qualification to these leads. It sets those proper expectations, it builds trust, and it converts a higher quality client while you sleep. This is my favorite thing to say because a good working website works while you're sleeping. Here's the truth. Your website can either be a brochure website, like everyone used to call it back in the day, or it can be an active sales system. The difference really comes down to clarity in your goals, in your pathways, and your offers. And when I work with clients, this is exactly what we focus on. Confused visitors, they don't convert. But clear offers, strategic pathways, defined goals, that's how you build a website that works just as hard as you do. If you've been listening to this episode and you're thinking, yes, I am ready to transform my website from just a pretty placeholder or even a not pretty placeholder to a conversion machine, let's talk about making your website work strategically for you and your business. You can book a consultation call in the link in the show notes, and I look forward to chatting with you and learning more about your business. Thanks so much for listening, and I'll talk to you next time.
And that wraps up another episode of Website Design Made Simple. I hope you found the insights shared in this episode valuable and takes you one step closer to creating a website that attracts more of your ideal clients and builds your brand. If you enjoyed this episode, please take a minute to leave a review on Apple Podcasts or a rating on Spotify. Your review will help us reach more small business owners like you who are ready to make more money with their website. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you in the next episode.